gone through some growth from 2011 to now.
Yeah.
But if your vision or your mission is to help more amputees,
Right.
What does that growth look like?
Here's the way I look at growth, and it really is simple. It's not complicated. You can make it as complicated as you want with data and numbers and all that. You take the profits. All profits are extra money that you earn in the business. Something's got to happen with them. You got to pay them in taxes. You got to reinvest them in the business. Something has to happen with them. In order for us to grow, we take our profits, or a large portion of them, reinvest them in our existing business. That gives a foundation that's very firm for our existing team members, so that we can issue raises, we can issue bonuses, we can do things that we should do to take care of each other, because that's number one. I argue back and forth, employees number one, patients number one. You can't have one without the other. So it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. But we take that, and then we define a new place to go. And we identify it, and we vet it, and then we put it out for discussion. Because I'm not making these decisions by myself anymore. Because I'm not the one that's going to be going there. I'm not going to be growing the business. What my job is now is to give a new clinician or a seasoned clinician the resources and the training and the wherewithal and the backing to do what we do, but do it in a new location. And then have their back at every decision. And empower them to make mistakes. Because that's how you learn. That's how I learn. Good gracious, if it weren't for mistakes, you and I wouldn't be sitting here.
Right.
I'm not saying that you're the biggest mistake, but if it wasn't for mistakes, we wouldn't learn.
Right. So,
in giving them the freedom to make decisions on their own that affect people's lives, because then, I see myself as the guy that I want to get the blame. I want you to get the credit. Does that make sense? Because you're always out front. If you're the lead clinician and you're managing people and you're managing an office, I've done that. I know how hard it is. I know also how hard it is to do multiple offices and to do them at the same time. And buddy, you got to have the right people. So our growth plan is just that. Find the right people, take a majority or a large part of our profits and put it back in the business so that we can continue to grow and help more amputees and continue to do that process. There's other ways that people grow, that businesses grow. And it's not just businesses in prosthetics and orthotics, but it's businesses in general. And that's through acquisition. And let me tell you what that would look like from our perspective, from mine specifically as a business owner. The majority of the businesses that are out there in our profession, they own a lot of the market. And the way they own it is they buy it. And they buy distressed businesses, they buy businesses where they have 70-year-old owners that they have a limited life expectancy or limited life expectancy for their business. They don't have anybody to train and hand it off to, and they haven't thought that way since they're in their 40s of how to move this business to the next generation. And without kids, and kids are a risk. You don't know if your kids are going to take a left turn and be a musician or be a scientist and want to have nothing to do with your business, because that's yours, and that's where your passion is. But kids are no guarantee of business continuity, believe me. We have two, and who knows what the future holds for those guys. But typically, a business is acquired. So from our perspective, if we were to act that way and grow through acquisition, here's what it would look like. Mark, you have a business that's X number of patients per year. Half of those are orthotics. 60% of them, more likely 70% of those patients are orthotics. All we do is prosthetics. If you've got 70% of your business tied up in orthotics, that means that probably 70 or 80% of your staff is tied up in orthotics, which means me as a business owner, buy your business, I buy the whole thing. You're not just going to sell me the prosthetics. You're going to sell me the whole thing. And I have to kill 80% of the business on day one because I'm not going to do it. That's not where our passion is. That's not where our growth is. So I basically have given you $1 for 20 cents worth of value. It doesn't work. That math will not add up. That dog doesn't hunt. There is no way for us to acquire orthodontic and prosthetic businesses literally at any value, even a depressed value with someone who's in a distressed, who has to sell and get value out of it. The second biggest problem with that is I don't know you. I don't know your culture. I don't know why your people work for you. I don't know if they worked for you for 20 years because you're a good guy or because you kept giving them raises. I don't know any of that. I know us. I know what we stand for, and I know what our core is. If I try and blend you in your business with ours, there goes another half of the people. So now I'm down to 10%. So I've just paid $1 and I've gotten a dime. It just doesn't work.
Right.
For us, it takes a long time to grow people because we have to plant seeds, and then we have to fertilize, and then we have to water, and then the winds have to blow, and the roots have got to go deep, and they have to have challenges. It takes a long while to grow a tree, much less a forest, and that's what we're trying to do. And we've got oak trees in the business, and we have saplings, and that's the way we're gonna succeed, and we're gonna spread. But it's not going to be from coming into your forest, cutting down the tree, taking all the fruit, and not replanting anything. It just doesn't work. That's not sustainable. For us, it means growing from the bottom up. The challenge is we have to find the seeds. Those seeds are the people. Mm-hmm. Now, they're out there, but when you look at a lot of seeds, they look a lot alike. Some people are really good clinicians and develop into really great clinicians, one-on-one. Some people are really great clinicians and they have a different skill set. They're great managers of people, and they tend to do well in a management position or a clinic lead. So we have different paths of development now, and it's good because we're in a growth phase. And with this growth, we're going to need great leadership in all levels.